If you've ever thought about developing and maintaining a personal brand with compassion, as a creative entrepreneur, it's one of the most important things that you can do to build a sustainably successful career. Hi, I'm LJ. I'm the founder of COMUSE. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. On this channel, I help creative entrepreneurs in music, media, the arts, and entertainment transition through their careers, all stages of their career, with compassion. And in this video, I'm going to teach you 7 ways to identify and maintain a personal brand with compassion. One of the most important things that you can do is to identify your personal brand that is authentic to you. Because as you move through your career, the most sustainably successful way to do it is just to be yourself. I love to say, you might as well be you because everybody else is taken. It is so true. Just to put yourself out there and attract the people into your life that you want to work with. If they are bosses, team members, bandmates, production crews, um, obviously clients and customers, all of the people, your ecosystem, your community that you want to attract into your life in order to create a sustainably successful career, more than likely, it will be much more long term and it will feel so much better if you're just being yourself rather than putting on a face or pretending to be somebody that you're not. Pretending to be somebody you're not is not new. A lot of us in the creative industries do that to get our foot in the door. And it does work short term. However, it's not a sustainable practice because sooner or later it gets very exhausting and you start to feel resentful that you're not aligning with your core values or who you really are. In my case, I was working a job for over a decade where it just wasn't aligned with my core values. And I ended up getting really sick, physically sick. Your body will let you know when you're misaligned. So one of the best things you can do, especially when you're getting started in your career, but really at any time, I pivoted mid-career, is to really get clear on what authenticity, who you are at your core values really are. And what I'll do is I'll link to how to identify your core values video that I did earlier on the channel. I'll link to it in the description box below. And also, please, we've created a free creative entrepreneur toolkit that you can download. I made this just for you. It's completely free, so be sure to grab that as well. When it comes to identifying your core values, this is really the first step to creating a personal brand that feels authentic and compassionate in your work. And so you can move forward without it. Like I said, you can pretend to be somebody that you're not, but it is a short-lived strategy. And so I'm here to be a reminder if this video has come up into your feed and we've crossed paths today. Let this serve as a reminder to get really clear on your core values. And remember, core values are not beliefs. Beliefs are changeable, they're immutable, and they can change over time based on your experiences and your environment. Core values hardly ever change. They are your essence. They are who you are at your core from the inside out. I love to say that they are your North Star. They will help guide you through your life and your career. So it's really important to get clear on those. And that's number 1. Number 2 is to create a channel of empathy with the people that you work with. I will probably be revisiting this topic in some of the other steps I'm going to talk to you about later in this video, but empathy is a connector. It is a unifier. It is an energetic connector. And When you're working in the creative industries, especially in music and media and the arts and entertainment, you know that it is relationship based. And we thrive on energy exchange. So it might be a transactional relationship when it comes to a trade of goods and services. But overarching over that is always the relationship. And so if you can approach the relationship with empathy, the ability to put yourself in other people's shoes, to imagine what it must be like to work in the area of the industry that they work in, the struggles that they experience, the challenges that they encounter. This will help you build your brand of care. And it won't be bullshit because you truly are putting them first. You're wondering what it might be like to be in their shoes. This connects people to you. It draws people to you energetically. People will want to work with you because you care. So number 2 is a big one. And like I said, there might be a recurring theme. Empathy might come up again in this video in other steps. There's 7 steps I'm going to teach you today. This is step number 2. But empathy is sort of the linchpin to a lot of the work that you do, building an authentic personal brand, building and maintaining one. Number 3 is balancing your confidence with humility. Now, I have a lot to say on this topic because I have practiced being humble and I've also practiced not advocating for myself. And those are 2 very different things. The second comes from a place of imposter syndrome, and that's not what we're talking about today. So today, I really want to talk to you more about showing up with authentic confidence and also practicing humility. When it comes to your work, the work speaks for itself, yes, right? So you shouldn't just be talk, you have to walk the walk, especially in the creative industries. It's so highly competitive. There are literally 1,000 people behind you in line to take your job or compete against you if you own a company. This is true, and that's okay because creativity is limitless. So you can always become more creative, come up with new ways and new solutions. I really do believe that. And you want to be able to communicate out the actions, the delivery of your authenticity through your work. In other words, don't hold back. There's a difference between saying, I'm so great. And today I would like to talk to you about this amazing thing that is happening at work that we have managed to deliver, that I have managed to deliver. And this is how others benefit from the delivery of this enter in the blank goods or services. This, I'm just going to pause or take a pause here with the example that I'm sharing. But this is about being ecological. That means it's important when you advocate for yourself, right, with confidence and also in being practicing humility, that you talk about it ecologically. How might what you are doing benefit others? Talk about how it might benefit others, not just how it benefits you, right? So connect the dots. That is hugely powerful because then people can see themselves in the equation. If you're only talking about you and you're only talking about your work and how great you are, you're missing the other half. Remember, in this industry, nobody's an island. So it's really important to always make it ecological, include how it might benefit others. That's how you get paid, right? That's how you continue to operate in your business. We need each other. It's about everyone involved. So always connect the dots. Number 4, communicate with clarity and positivity. This is a good one. When you are building and maintaining a personal brand that is authentic and with compassion, one of the biggest compassion practices that you can put into place for your career and for your business is clearly communicating. Clear communication helps people move forward. As an executive coach, when I'm wearing my coaching hat, one of my only goals as a coach is to hold space and create um, an environment where clarity can be arrived at. That's not a great way to say it, but hopefully um, you're with me. Clarity is an incredible motivator and it is an empowerer. When we are working in the creative industries and as creative professionals, we always want to be moving forward. And in order to move forward, clarity is key, right? Maybe not, we don't always have to know like the overall vision. Maybe sometimes it's what is just the very next step. Sometimes we don't know what the very next step is, but we do have the overall vision. In either case, macro or micro, that sort of clarity can help us move forward. And without that, we can freeze up. And freezing up it's like the kiss of death for creative professionals. Creative entrepreneurs and professionals, we can't freeze up. That is like the ultimate demotivator. It lowers morale. We start to feel self-doubt and maybe even imposter syndrome. And we could get frustrated and even quit. There's a lot of behaviors that can follow when we feel like we don't have any movement or clarity on what or how we move forward. So I would say clarity is huge, and also positive reframing I would throw in there. So keeping it positive, not in a bullshit sort of way, but keeping it positive in a reframing. Okay? So, well, as an example, if I were in a coaching session, um I might say, I heard you say this is what you don't want. That's a great first step. What is it that you want instead? So reframing it in the positive and reframing it in a way that would move you forward, right? Just thinking and ruminating on what you don't want, great clarity. So you've got the clarity piece. That's what you don't want. What do you want instead? Right? Something, instead of running away from something, what are you running towards? Okay, so keeping that in mind, that clarity in combination with the positive mindset will help you move forward. And finally, and this is a big one, my friends, don't gatekeep. Okay, we are all here to be successful, and there is so much opportunity out there, especially if we're creatives. That means that the creativity is limitless and we can always come up with new solutions to things. Don't gatekeep your information. Be free flowing with it. Are there bad actors out there that might take advantage? Yes, but they are such a small percentage of the people out there. And really, they're doing it because they don't believe that they are creative enough to come up with their own solutions. Okay. So you are that creative person. There's no need to gatekeep. Just lead with your heart, be open, be positive, and be clear. Number 5 is giving back to your community. One of the best things that I have done, and this is almost a mantra for me in building my career and building a sustainably successful one over 30 years of working in music and arts and tech and entertainment, is giving back. I have always been of the mind to give more than I take. This doesn't necessarily mean monetarily speaking, although in some situations it does. But, um, check in with yourself and figure out, what are your love languages? One of mine is service. And so I give my time and service to others. Um, I, I've gotten a lot of questions about that over the years. Why do you, LJ, why do you give so much of your time away to people who aren't paying you? Why are you mentoring people for, you know, over many weeks and months if there's no exchange for money for time? There is, in fact, an exchange, and I just want to be really clear about this. Not everything, not everything in business has to be about money. I really do believe that community is, it is, well, it's one of the tenets. I run COMUSE, which is just the most beautiful, compassionate, mindful business community for creative entrepreneurs. And the amount of energy that I get back from community, from giving my time and service to people along the way. I've mentored countless people, especially women, um, and people from marginalized communities. Give back to your community. Check in. What are your love languages? Identify them. Be authentic to yourself on how you might give back to your community. Maybe it's words of affirmation. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's money and gifts. Maybe it's service, right? Um, Maybe it's hugs. So like it's just what feels good for you, and do that. It also keeps you in high vibration energy, and I love that. That's everything, because that helps you stay in a creative mindset, and it helps you be even more successful when it comes time to creating and coming up with creative problem solving solutions for your business. Number 6, to creating and maintaining a personal brand that feels authentic to you and is compassionate, is staying consistent and also open to growth. So this taps into my 80/20 rule, where 80% of the time you are being consistent at your business. You're consistently showing up and you're doing the work. Wherever you are in the creative industries, you're doing the work on a regular basis, output, 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 so that people start to notice the work that you are doing in the world, right? For example, every week for months and for years and for decades now, I have made it a point to network, always meeting new people and talking to new people and learning from new people and mentoring new people, and lots of new energy. I've always made it a point to do that consistently, in addition to my day-to-day work, which is, as you know, as a creative entrepreneur, you are doing two things, well, probably a lot more than two things, but two buckets of work, which is your focus is in the business, that's actually working in the trade that you work in your business, and also working on the business, which is administration, strategy, operations, sales, all the things that you need to keep doing in order to have a business in the first place, right? Marketing, etc. So, it is really important that you show up consistently in those two buckets in order to build and maintain a business. Where your personal brand comes into play is this 20%. So that's 80%. The 20% that I'm talking about is open to growth. Okay. So this is, how might you serve your customer base even better than you did before? Each time you get a new contract for work, if you're a freelancer or you're in business for yourself, each time you get a new customer or a client, how might you iterate just a little bit better? And so for this reason, you must be open and flexible to growing. You must be 20% of the time, I like to say about, you must be open and flexible to change. So consistency 80% of the time, and then open to change and growth and learning, growth mindset 20% of the time, right? what can I do differently than I did last time? Just a little bit, just slightly improve. For example, every time I make a video on YouTube, I try to improve it just a little bit, video over video. And I do this by looking at the content, reviewing it. If there's comments, I love to read your comments. Please, if you like this video, make sure you comment. I'd love to hear what you think. And just getting really clear on what might be the smallest yet most positively impactful thing that I can change just a little bit, right, to improve day over day, week over week, month over month. So just having that growth mindset is so important to your personal brand because it says to your community, it says to your team, it says to your customer base, you are not stuck in your ways. You're not rigid. You're a hard worker and you're consistent most of the time, but you're willing to be open to looking at where you might be even better, where there is room for improvement and for growth and learning. This is huge, especially as a creative entrepreneur. Um, we always want to be looking at ways that we can improve and grow and be our best selves. Number 7 is to prioritize your relationships over transactions. And I said this a little earlier in the video. The creative industries are a relationship-based industry. This is I get it. AI is really coming along very quickly, and technologies are getting developed faster than ever these days. And still, nobody is an island. We need each other. This is a relationship-based business. And if you are only here to transact, if you are only bottom line driven, you are missing out on such a huge, quite frankly, the most beautiful part of the creative industries. You must be able to coexist with others in the industry. Everyone that has worked in the creative industries for longer than 5 minutes knows we really do need each other. We rely on each other. And even if you are a solopreneur and you're a social media influencer, for example, you cannot thrive without your followers. We need each other. It is a community of people. And I would be so sad if it was only transaction based. It would be so soulless. And the creative industries is all about soul. So tap into building relationships, long-term relationships. What do you do in the meantime when you're building your personal brand? I like to say, take a job if you need to take a job. I have taken many jobs over the course of my 30-year career. Jobs are a good thing. And what's a job job? A job is a job that you get in order to pay your bills. That's it. There's no bigger connection to it than that. You don't have to hate it. There doesn't need to be any negative energy connected to it. It's just managing your expectations while you build your personal brand, right? It brings in enough money for you to be able to put food on the table and keep the lights on, right? That's a job. And in tandem with that, build your relationships. A job actually empowers you to build long-term relationships because there's no desperation to bring money in. You have a job, it's paying the bills. Now you can enjoy connecting with other people, figuring out how you can help them long term. This helps you build such an authentic, sustainably successful business. And I live by this. I swear by it. This has been an incredible journey for me. I have some of the most amazing, like truly amazing, magical people in my network from all over the world. And had I only been looking at it as, what can you give me? How can you give me money so I can, just make the next thing? I would be missing out on learning who they are and what they're about and their spirit and their creativity and how we might collaborate in much bigger picture endeavors. And it would be such a small world, small place, I should say, to live in. It is a small world. A lot of us know each other in the in the creative industries. It is a very small community, and most of us are 1 degree of separation. Um, but but it would make my life small, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And uh, being transaction based is again, it is necessary. I'm living in reality here with you. We are running businesses and we need money. So um, I'm under no false pretense that that is true. And we need relationships, we need each other. So maybe if you have an opportunity to have a virtual coffee or a real coffee with someone that you're curious about, you admire their work, you admire them, um, get out there and start being curious, asking questions, understanding who they are and why they build what they build. You might learn so much, and you might see an opportunity that is much more long term and much more big picture down the line to work with somebody like that than only going in with, what can you do for me? It's a much smaller approach and it's a much shorter game. And um the hustle, when you're living in that mindset, it is constant and it is exhausting. So I highly recommend that you open it up much more long term. And if you need to, get a job. They can be great. Well, I hope that this has been helpful to you. Again, don't forget to grab the free resource that I created for you. I've linked it in the description box below. It is our Creative Entrepreneur Toolkit. It is packed with valuable tools and resources that you can use to help you with your business. And also remaining authentic and compassionate as you go through your career. I have used these tools myself and with my clientele, and I hope you find them immensely helpful. Your success is mine. I'll see you next time. Compassion rocks. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.